around our new spelling shed scheme, which will be going live in the first week of September 2022, ready for the school year. If you already have an account with us, or maybe you've got a free trial, I'll just show you where to find the new preview materials. So if you go to resources on the EdShed Hub and then scroll down, and you'll see the Spelling Shed Preview 2022. Now, the reason that we have updated or decided to update our spelling scheme is because we wanted to go with something that was more research based and included etymology, morphology, and orthography. So giving children more different strategies to be able to use to spell those more complex words, particularly as we go up in the school. This not only includes using the phonetic knowledge that they are taught early on in the school and then using those later on, but also looking at the origins of words and where meanings of parts of words come from, as well as looking at affixes and how they change the meanings, and looking at root and base words, and just generally breaking up words to find different methods of spelling them. So what I will do is I'll go for a stage 3 and we'll click through some resources. Anything with these free symbols next to them will be available for you to look at if you want to take out a free trial. And these free trials end automatically, so you don't have to worry about cancelling it and it taking any payment. So if we go for lesson 1, you can see for each lesson we have got a lesson plan, we have got worksheets, and we've also got a lesson presentation. So if we start off with the lesson plan, our current scheme doesn't currently have lesson plans, we just have PowerPoints. So this is a really nice detailed lesson plan, which is also really handy if you've got different spelling groups and they're going with different adults. It saves you that workload. Now these are designed for 1 hour session per week, but you might want to split them down into small chunks and do them daily instead. It's completely up to you and whatever suits your class. So you can see what the spelling pattern and this week's words. So here we can see it has the same structure. We've got revise, introduction, and the main teaching input, and then independent activities. So we're sharing this week's spellings for understanding and correct pronunciation. Then we're then looking at etymology. So if I look at our PowerPoint and have a look what this might look like. So here's the PowerPoint. Now starting off, you can see we've got different symbols here to indicate whether this is whole group, maybe you want to do it as part of the teaching input, or whether it's an independent activity. So we're sorting these words into the correct jar and then looking at this week's spellings. And then we're starting to look at what all of these words mean and looking at the patterns within these words. Then we're looking at the etymology. So how do you think these companies got their names? And that is because it's the word sound comes from the Latin word sonus, which means sound or noise. Then we've got some more whole group activities where we match the word to the correct number of sounds within them. And here you can see an example. So we're breaking them down, even though we're in year 3 now, still using those phonetic knowledge and the GPC knowledge that you have got and has been taught previously. Another way to do orthographic mapping is to use syllables, and this is something that we have also decided to do. This is an independent activity, so if I put it on slideshow, it will only show. So once you've taught your lesson at the beginning of the week, you will then assign the corresponding word list to the pupils. So this is stage 3, lesson 1. So you'd go to assignments, click create, whenever you want it to start and then end for the pupils. Then we go to a word list from our scheme and it'd be stage 3, lesson 1. Then you've got a few different settings that you can choose here, and then select it to your class or spelling group. Click next. You can also add other teachers if you're a job share, or have TAs so that they can see who has done their homework. And then when pupils have had a go at doing this, you'll be able to monitor them by clicking on details on the assignment page and seeing how they're doing, how many times they've played, and how they're getting on. Then come towards the end of the week, you might want to do something that replaces a traditional spelling test, and in EdShed we call that a hive game. So to create a hive game, you'd click on Create. Then you choose the list that you are testing. Then you are presented with some extra settings depending on what it is that you want to do, and then click Create Game, and the children will put in this hive code in their game screen. Then as the teacher, you can see who's joined, and then when you're ready, you can click Start Game.
Mouth. Mouth.
And you can see how people are getting on. For the child side, you can turn the leaderboard off if that's a bit more appropriate, but as the teacher, you will always see how everyone is getting on. Then after you have finished your hive game, you can click more and see a report of how everybody got on. So everyone will need a device to be able to do this. Really brief look at our new scheme and how you might be able to use that within the classroom. For any other questions, email support@edshed.com. Thank you.